Battery prices have fallen by a staggering 60% in 2 years. This is changing the nature of our grids. It's changing what's happening in terms of actual orders, what countries are buying. Instead of buying gas generators or gas peaker plants, they're now moving to solar and batteries because they are so much cheaper. Here's some interesting information that I think is worth sharing with you. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Reneweconomy.com.au says that the new owner of one of the most successful battery storage and renewable energy developers in Australia and the world has seen battery storage costs fall 60%. This has changed the face of the grid as well as the nature of long-term contracts. The observations were made early Saturday US time by the head of Brookvale Renewables, the global behemoth that just over a year ago purchased the assets of Noon, the French-based company that has led the energy transition in Australia for $11 billion. So Brookvale have purchased these renewable energy assets for $11 billion. Most of them are big batteries. Make no mistake, batteries are the fastest growing part of our platform today, and we expect that to continue. Connor Teskey, the CEO of Brookfield Renewable Partners, told analysts in a call to discuss the company's future earnings. This is really driven by the simple fact that battery costs have come down so dramatically over the last decade. They've come down more than 60% over the last 24 months. And as a result, they're becoming an increasingly economic solution in more and more markets around the world. He went on to say this dynamic continues. Costs continue to go down. Technology advances continue to be made. And therefore, we are seeing batteries as a potential solution in more and more of our projects and in more and more of our markets. Noon has built and is building some of the biggest battery projects in Australia and around the world, including the Collie battery in Western Australia, which when it's finished will be, I believe, the second biggest battery in the world. And that is being built to support the rollout of renewables, particularly solar and rooftop solar. There is also a similarly sized battery being built in Ontario in Canada. And that battery will actually support Ontario's nuclear-dominated grid. Now, why on earth do you need big batteries when you've got a nuclear-dominated grid? I'll do a video on that very soon. Brookfield is heavily invested in nuclear, having picked up a majority stake in the financially stricken Westinghouse in late 2023, and is hopeful that the Trump administration's enthusiasm for all technologies that are not renewable will help get its small modular reactor hopes over the line. Guys, small modular nuclear reactors have been hyped and hyped and hyped for many years, more than a decade. Nothing's really happened yet. For the moment, in an energy-hungry world, Teskey is in no doubt what technologies are the lowest cost, solar and batteries, and fastest to deploy, and top of the buying list for corporations, particularly in IT, wanting to power their new investments. So he says, battery storage can be executed faster than any other technology. Much of the equipment shows up pre-built on site, and because batteries and energy storage reduce grid congestion, as opposed to adding to it, there is significant incentive from grids to bring batteries online faster. Therefore, yes, we have accelerated and increased our outlook for batteries, he said, saying a 1 gigawatt deal with an unnamed sovereign wealth fund partner and his company's hunger for more M&A opportunities is driving their decisions recently. Interestingly though, Brookvale said we expect to quadruple our battery storage capacity over the next 3 years to 10 gigawatts. So they're going to quadruple the number of batteries in their portfolio in the next 3 years. That's a big difference, right? And that's an enormous difference. Now, Teskey also warned this. He said that energy demand is rising at a pace not seen in decades, driven by the multi-decade trends of electrification and renewed industrial activity, particularly, of course, AI data centers, which has been enormous. As a result, he said, we are not only transitioning the grid, but adding substantial net new generation for the first time in decades. Said another way, we have shifted from a period focused on energy transition to a period focused on energy addition. The shift is driving a move from incremental grid upgrades to large-scale expansion, prioritizing faster deploy renewables, scale-based generation, and capacity to ensure reliability. Interesting, isn't it, that they're saying they're adding battery capacity to ensure reliability? And we're hearing this a lot lately. Very, very common now that companies are saying, businesses, governments, grid operators saying, oh, people say, well, why did you just add all these batteries? And they say, well, to ensure grid reliability. So really, renewables, particularly battery storage, are adding reliability to grids. Are grids becoming more reliable? They are. We only hear about the negative stuff, right? We hear when grids have problems. We hear things happen like what happened in Spain, but we don't hear about the fact that actually they are becoming more reliable in spite of increased energy demand for the reasons we mentioned earlier. If you'd like to book a paid consultation, you can do so, and I'll put a link in the description below. If you want advice on what electric car to buy, solar systems, all that kind of stuff, you can do that. Now, he actually made some interesting comments on different technologies. He said meeting this demand will require a mix of all the scale and efficient technologies over time, not coal, of course. Solar and onshore wind will play a critical role, given their speed to market and low cost. Hydro and nuclear are important for their baseload and scale, natural gas for its flexibility, and battery solutions will be crucial for ensuring the reliability of grids going forward. Now, I personally don't think we need natural gas or nuclear at all, and many experts agree. Those technologies are completely unneeded in the future. Interestingly, Teskey says there is no slowdown in the deployment of solar and battery storage in the United States, its biggest market, despite the efforts of Trump's scaremongering and his administration trying to shut those projects down. We are actually seeing an acceleration, he said, and this is driven by solar. It is quick to deploy, it's cheap, it's the lowest cost form of production, lowest cost form of energy, I think he was saying, and quite frankly, the corporates need the power as quick as possible. So on solar, we are seeing no change. If anything, an acceleration, and we're trying to pull projects forward as fast as possible. On wind, onshore wind, there has been some slowdown in permitting from the federal government, but projects are still getting done. When he says projects are still getting done, there's some news today showing that the Trump administration, or maybe you could say Trump himself, but anyway, the Trump administration, they have lost in court on all 5 offshore wind projects they tried to shut down. The final nail in the coffin happened yesterday when they lost their high court case. Supreme Court, I believe, said Trump, the administration, what they were trying to do was illegal. So they've lost on 5 different wind farms that were already being built, and some were near completion. They tried to shut them down, and yeah, the governments, I mean, basically the legal system has said, yeah, that's insane. That's actually illegal. So interesting to hear Brookvale mentioning that actually wind and solar are increasing in deployment in the United States in spite of the Trump administration disparaging them pretty strongly. Really, I think the reason for the decisions that are made by corporates and big companies, it doesn't really come down to what Trump says. It really more comes down to cost and speed. And that's where solar and batteries beat everything else. Particularly, think about the prices. A fall of more than 60% over the last 2 years. What does that say? A continued falls in costs will happen over the next 5 years. Thanks for watching. Guys, if you want to install solar panels, a home battery, or a home charger, the best way to do this for your situation is to go to the links in the description below, and they'll take you to a page where you can compare everyone. So depending on where it doesn't matter where you live, a lot of people email me all the time saying, well, what solar system should I get? Who should I go with? What battery should I get? What electric charger should I get? Well, click in the links in the description and you can actually compare all the different choices and find the best deal for you. I'll put that link in the description below. Additionally, there is a battery savings calculator link and also a federal battery rebate calculator. I personally have found that I'm not paying for electricity at all, and that's including charging my 2 electric cars and also running my home power, my home sauna. Nothing, not paying anything at all. And I think a lot of people are getting misled. They think that getting a battery is not worth it. Actually, I think it is worth it. So those links are in the description below.